Trump just posted on Truth Social, the whole world is on fire under these clowns. And this post, along with a few other deranged posts that he's made today, are proof that Donald Trump is in full-blown panic mode just one day before he takes the debate stage with Vice President Kamala Harris. Because my world isn't on fire. Is the world on fire around you? It shouldn't be, but we know that it is for Donald Trump, who, number one, is scared to get embarrassed live in front of the entire nation by Vice President Kamala Harris tomorrow, and two, is in the middle of all of these different legal battles that, keep in mind, he's pulled all of his closest allies into, and three, he is slowly slipping in the polls, and we know what it means if he doesn't get this power that he so desperately craves. So we have a lot to break down, a lot of deranged stuff one day before the debate. All that I ask is that you leave a like on the video below and subscribe to the Mockler channel. We have a lot to cover and not a lot of time. In this first clip, Nikki Haley says that Donald Trump's tariff proposal is straight up not a good idea. Watch.
She had said that she is not going to raise taxes on Americans making under $400,000. There are people who look at the tariffs that President Trump is proposing and say that that would be essentially a tax on middle-income families who would have to pay for it.
I disagree with Trump on tariffs. I mean, tariffs are meant to be used as leverage. They're meant to be used strategically. If you do tariffs across the board, you're raising prices on farmers, on businesses, on consumers. It's never a good idea.
She is right. People aren't going to like me saying this, but Nikki Haley is right. You know, every time she talks about NATO or Ukraine or the threat of Russia and sometimes the economy, she can oftentimes be right, but obviously her brain breaks when it comes to Donald Trump. But in this case, she's totally correct that any price increases caused by tariffs on other countries, which there will be price increases, will be passed off to the middle class, sometimes the lower class. The upper class can handle it. They don't really care, but Donald Trump will be screwing over exactly the people that Nikki Haley mentioned. Farmers, people who are working day to day, and Donald Trump could not care less. He just thinks it sounds good. He doesn't fully understand the mechanisms at play. Before we talk about this insanely unhinged Donald Trump tweet where he's definitely freaking out about the debate, I want to show you this clip. So Fox News cut to the White House press room at the exact second that KJP was destroying Donald Trump's entire legacy, his entire record. I mean, Fox News screwed themselves over. Watch.
Just a minute back to the White House. Jackie Heinrich is now questioning the press secretary.
Questions you would have to ask the campaign, and that is for them to speak to. And what I will say is, what I can say is that as far as contrast, the contrast can't be more clear. It couldn't be more clear. If you think about 4 years ago, America was reeling. It was reeling in a once-in-a-generation pandemic. It was isolated from the world stage. Crime was up. The middle class was sidelined. We saw an insurrection on January 6th in 2021 that the former president led. And you think about today, where we are today, 3.5 years later, we're leading the strongest economy in the world. You hear the comeback stories in places like Milwaukee, to Dayton, to Scranton, Pennsylvania. And so we have done what people said we couldn't do, which is turn the economy around, turn the country around, be a leader on the world stage. And I think it's important for Americans to know and to be reminded where we were and where we are.
That was great timing, or terrible timing if you're Fox News, but KJP just eviscerated that. And look at the Fox News host that was sitting there asking the question right here. She's like, oh shit, now I have to actually listen because she's giving a good answer. But this brings us on to the main meat of the video. Donald Trump's post on Truth Social about Vice President Kamala Harris that was insanely deranged. He said, Comrade Kamala Harris goes to an ultra left-wing, Trump-hating spice shop, which I hear has terrible, overpriced product, and calls for unity, as people begin to realize that she is a Marxist, far more liberal than crazy Bernie Sanders or even Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Her poll numbers are beginning to crash. Who are they going to put in next? How about a Biden comeback? So first of all, I just want to point this out. Donald Trump doesn't understand the political spectrum. People who are liberal aren't farther left than Marxist. That is just not how it works. But what Donald Trump is referring to is this really sweet video of VP Kamala Harris at a spice shop. Let me just show you really quickly this.
Oh, it's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We are all in this together. Yes, we are. We're gonna be fine. We are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Huh? Yeah. Did you get some spices?
She asked, did you get some spices? And you guys have seen this clip. I absolutely love it. VP Kamala Harris inspires a young girl. VP Kamala Harris also talks to a practicing lawyer who is another young woman who looks closer to my age. And people keep asking if I live in Chicago or I live in Indiana. I go to school in Chicago. I spend probably 80% of my time there. But right now I'm building a studio in Indiana. So I kind of live in both places. People have been asking me that since my video yesterday. But Donald Trump's post is just so insane. Also, how is he still getting away with saying Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren? That is definitely racist. You can't convince me otherwise. When he says far more liberal than crazy Bernie Sanders. I mean, objectively, Bernie Sanders is on the farther left of the spectrum in America, but the farther left of the spectrum in America is somebody who just wants healthcare for everybody, somebody who wants to redistribute wealth so that people who are multi-billionaires can pay the fair share and people aren't on the streets. I mean, it's insane to me how Trump spins all of this stuff. He said, how about a Biden comeback? He so desperately wants Biden to come back because Biden was losing to him in the polls. Or even Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. It's just insane to me. And this video is so sweet. Donald Trump tears us down in the name of unity. He thinks he's being the unifying one by calling VP Kamala Harris a crazy radical Marxist. And one of my favorite parts about Vice President Kamala Harris is that she doesn't bite. Donald Trump can throw all of this stuff to the wall, and how many times have we seen VP Kamala Harris stoop to his level and start to bite or even defend herself? Zero. Honestly, she doesn't care. When Dana Bash asked Kamala Harris in that CNN interview about Donald Trump's comments about her race, she said, next question, and that's exactly what we need. Hillary Clinton back in 2016, bless her soul, would have sat there and defended herself, would have gone on a 1-minute rant about how Donald Trump is a terrible misogynist, but VP Kamala Harris just skirts past it and says, you know, we are going to move forward. Who cares about what this wild person says? Ron Filipkowski says, Trump provides major boost in sales to ultra left-wing, Trump-hating spice shop. I mean, what does that even mean? How is a spice shop inherently political or ultra left-wing or Trump-hating? And yeah, Vice President Kamala Harris is calling for unity when she's the candidate who says that she doesn't care if you're a Democrat, she doesn't care if you're a Republican, she just cares that you're an American. Biden used a similar line, Obama used a similar line, now Kamala is using similar lines, but hey, we want to unite the country, I want to help everybody. Meanwhile, Donald Trump doesn't know how to say any of that. Donald Trump thinks all Democrats are communists, and he can't understand how somebody could be a normal human being like Tim Walz. Trump is weird, and it is a struggle for him to go one day without frothing at the mouth and referring to people as comrades or Marxists. He is like the worst version of an old QAnon deranged uncle, and he has a platform to millions of other of QAnon people in America. If you enjoyed this video and appreciate what I do, leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, have a great day yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.